welcome
Well, we were supposed to pose? What?
to the Death Battle cast. Yeah, everybody poses at the beginning of the show, Jen.
It's artistic
So everybody
expression.
Take your pose. Welcome to the Death Battle. I'm trying not to hit my mic. Cast! We're the cast and crew of Death Battle, as always, and we do stupid shit. I'm Ben, voice of Wiz, joined by Liam.
Alongside.
As
There you
usual.
go.
Billy is down there as well, and we're joined by the lovely Jen
Hello.
for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excited.
Wow.
Jen, who the hell are you? What are you doing here?
I'm a producer at Rooster Teeth Animation. I help out with Death Battle sometimes, and I mostly work on other stuff.
What's that degree for you've got in the background? It's a lovely framed degree. I almost said flamed degree.
That is my Masters of Arts and Technology from UT Dallas.
Well, there you go.
So
It's fantastic. My degree is like in a my suitcase somewhere, like crumpled into like a little
yeah.
thing.
Actually, your
most expensive piece of disposable paper I've ever possessed.
You're not masters.
not
My
masters.
not masters is that
But
one.
we don't know.
Jeez. Okay. So
I'm trying to show my bona fides.
All I have is toys.
I'm qualified to be here.
you gotta show your She is qualified to be here, guys.
You've got
She has a
exposed
master's
brick.
degree.
I mean, look, that's the sign of success for us, kind of millennial Gen Z
It's fake.
types. I know, but I
you didn't need to say that.
Don't have to say that.
All right. Well, all right. It is time to get into the Death Battle cast. We got a fun matchup to discuss, as well as a sneak peek to share later on in the show for the upcoming premiere of Death Battle Season 9. That's right, Death Battle's coming back with our first episode of Season 9 being Harley Quinn versus Jinx. If you have not seen that yet, spoilers. I don't know why that's a spoiler, actually. Surprise! It's Harley Quinn versus Jinx. If you're a member on the Death Battle YouTube channel, you can actually have seen the sneak peek for a while at this point, but we will be sharing it here as we usually do a week ahead of the episode airing. And the episode debuts this upcoming Sunday for first members on Rooster Teeth, and then the following Monday, the 28th, on the Death Battle YouTube channel and public on Rooster Teeth as well. Very excited to share it with you guys. Billy's actually been the director for this episode, first time directing a Death Battle. He's been running DBX for a while now and has done a phenomenal job with that show. So we thought, hey, time to give him a Death Battle, right? See what shenanigans we can get into with
Set
some of
that on
that.
fire too.
A lot of shenanigans. I've seen the episode. It is wonderful. It's bonkers.
It's so
Can't wait to
insanely
share it.
sick.
Yep.
That last, I'm gonna say like the last third, like the climax of the fight is just unbelievable. It's
That's the
gonna be
part
like
where Superman
it's very much gonna be like one of
Yeah.
those like big DB moments. I feel it's just
Wow, okay, putting a whole lot of pressure on the episode
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
I think I know
So-
what you're talking about. Too.
I think
for sure.
I
It's
agree,
just
though. It's a really, I think it's a really
Ocarina.
fun way to end the episode for sure. We're very excited to share it with you guys. We'll get to that in a little bit. And we also have, of course, Community Death Battle, as always. This week, we are arguing Link, specifically Link from Breath of the Wild, versus Aloy from the Horizon series. The adventurous open world arrow shooting chosen one type people, kind of.
Yeah,
As-
I think that works. Yeah,
as the tweet
Yeah.
described.
Swiss
them,
Army knives.
human shaped.
I love
I
your sweet description.
Was that Embu who wrote that one?
I laughed so hard, I think I scared the neighbor's dogs.
Human-shaped.
There was
Army
debate
knife.
on the syntax, which was amazing. It was wonderful.
I love it. So they are so similar. They are in fact both human shaped. That's
Yes.
all that matters. All right. So,
That's all you need.
that's all you need.
Because I
for a
understand the
Death
thought process too. It was like both the human. No, because Link's not a human technically. He's a Hylian.
Well, he
I
shaped
guess
like
we
a
can
human, though.
debate.
Come
Is
on.
Aloy a human?
Humanoid, I think is.
humanoid.
Is Aloy
Also-
not a human either?
Well, okay, we are like spoilers are free and clear for this,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Okay.
Spoil it.
Okay,
Aloy is
so the new one we should probably
Forbidden Dawn?
try
Forbidden
to
Dawn?
avoid
What?
spoilers.
Yeah.
Forbidden West. No Forbidden West?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
It depends. If you need to use spoilers, go for it. Just kind of give us a heads up, or everybody watching a
Spoiler
heads up.
for Zero Dawn.
Yeah, it's
Aloy
fine.
is a clone.
Yes. Surprise.
Of a
I
human?
mean, that's another thing that kind of ties into Link,
Yeah,
right?
she's a-
This is
she's
not
a
the
clone
original
of
Link. He's,
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a clone, but he's the descendant /
Reincarnation.
reincarnation of previous Links. All right. Anyway,
Oh, God.
so
Sure.
let's jump into it. So Liam will be arguing for Link, and Jen will be arguing for Aloy. And as always, the way this works is you guys will be able to argue for your characters however you want and convince the jury that yours should win a death battle by any means necessary. The jury will consist of 4 seats now. We are slightly adjusting how this is going to work. So the first seat is me, second seat is Billy, of course. And then the third seat is the Rooster Teeth chat. If you're watching this live at 3 p.m. Central Time on Rooster Teeth, you can vote in the chat. That poll will be up in just a little bit. But also, we have a new members poll that's going to be up on the YouTube. The YouTube.
On the YouTube.
If you are
It's
watching
like
this live on
the
YouTube,
Facebook.
yeah, exactly. Anybody can watch this show live on YouTube now, but there is a members only chat on YouTube. So if you are a champion of Death Battle, you can jump in there, have a chat with other members, like-minded people, and at the end of the show, a poll will be put up on the members only chat. You guys can vote there as well. Got it? Okay, so 4 votes in total. All right, so way this is going to start, opening statements. Liam, go ahead and show us how it's done.
Yes, please.
What's Link going to do? 60
You
seconds.
know when you're
uninterrupted.
like, you know you're not sick, but you gotta like, but you're like feeling sick? That's been me all day, but that's just a side note. Anyways, Link, hero of the wild, Breath of the Wild. He is a reincarnation of the hero, the great hero, Link. He's got tons of magical / like futuristic technology that's incredibly powerful. He's got the Master Sword, which is the same Master Sword that every Link has had. He's fought Ganon, the same Ganon that every Link, well, not everyone, but most of the Ganons is him. So he's just I think the big difference between him and Aloy is the fact that he is clearly superhuman, like to a much bigger degree, I think, than Aloy. His technology is better, his magic is better, his items are better. Just everything about him is better when it comes to murder.
So when I
Cool.
said show
Oh,
us
yeah,
how
like
it's done, you're
Barfy,
just like,
just-
I'm just gonna ramble random shit
Just like
now.
Barfy, like all like the last 3
He's great at
hours, I
murder.
had lunch.
He's great at
And-
murder.
And the lunch was great. It's at a cafe I always go to, but for some reason, whenever I think of the bread that I ate, which was fine, whenever I think about it, I'm like gonna puke. I don't know why. Like, I know that I'm not sick, but I've like been barfy, like feeling barfy like all day. It's so odd.
Barfy.
Yeah, feeling barfy.
So you're going for the pity vote, is what you're saying.
I'm not going for the pity vote. If I barf,
don't think
it
you
will
need
be
to.
off screen.
All right, Jen. So you have 60 seconds uninterrupted
And
to kind
into
of like
this
pitch
bottle.
us on. I said uninterrupted, Liam.
Well, that's a fucking prayer.
That's how he's going to
That would be
win.
answered.
60 seconds uninterrupted to just kind of pitch us on Aloy, and also just kind of like tell us why you like her. What's cool about Aloy?
Okay, cool. So 6 seconds on the clock. Aloy is the clone of Elizabeth Sobek, one of the smartest women in the world in the 21st century. So she lives in the 31st century. And she's a clone of the smartest woman in the world. She's been raised for 13 years to win what's called the Proving. So to join her tribe. She's an outcast. So she spends her entire life training to fight machines. She does not interact with a lot of people. All she does is train to survive. And she's got this really cool technology called a focus that lets her hack everything basically in this world. She's got like this cool spear that has this master override, which again lets her hack everything. And you might have some cool magic and technology, but it's still technology. If she got her hands on the Sheikah Slate, I bet you she could override that shit. Also, she's got a lot of weapons. A lot of weapons. And she knows how to use them.
All
And she
right,
doesn't need to
that's-
murder everyone.
Fuck,
No,
a
she
lot
does.
of weapons.
She
I was not
murders.
prepared for a lot of weapons.
She
Yeah.
murders a lot.
Liam, you specified one weapon. He's got a sword. Okay, cool. But Aloy has a
I
lot of
specified
weapons.
one. I mentioned more.
I wrote them
a
down.
multitude.
Hey,
Oh,
You wrote them
okay.
down.
What
I have a
are?
wiki.
Good.
You have a book? Is that a book? You're ready to go?
We have a whole.
I am ready to go.
All right. What
So-
are the best weapons here? Yes,
So-
and members,
Link's
there's
nuclear
already a
bomb?
poll in there.
He has a
for
gun
you
that
to
shoots
vote
a
on.
nuclear bomb that destroys planets. That's his best. I'm just kidding.
Just to clarify,
Um,
real fast before we get going, like Sea Fighter from the Rooster Teeth chat asked, or can we reference Hyrule Warrior feats? And I assume no in this case, right? That's non-canon even within. Just
If you're talking about Age of Calamity,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like it's non-canon because it's a separate timeline.
So
Yeah,
what?
it's not canon because there are certain elements in the game, even beyond the other timeline, that aren't accurate.
Yeah, it seems to
how it was
start
set up.
before like the link that like even in the flashbacks of Breath of the Wild, the link
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know it's diverged by that point.
Yeah. So I would say no.
Well, it's still the same. It's
we're
still the same link, right?
We're
It's just
also trying to stick to those open world.
that's
Like
fine.
the main connection here is that they're both like open world
Swiss Army
adventurers.
knives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And once you start bringing in Hyrule Warriors, I feel like we're kind of diverging from that, comparison. So let's unless it needs to come up, let's stick with.
So
just
the
Breath of the Wild
answer? Fuck no. Put that in the chat, Billy.
for now. You were gonna say something, Jen? Talking about her weapons.
No, I wrote them down.
Yes.
So she's got her spear, which I already said has the master override, which lets her hack everything. She's got alpha clearance, which means she can again hack anything. Mostly things that Elizabeth Sobek made, but again, she can override machines with her spear.
What is the source of technology in the 31st century? Like what?
Old
Like
stuff.
like okay, so it's like electricity based.
Yeah, it's post-apocalypse.
So Breath of the Wild technology is based on like magic, if I'm remembering right. Like it's fueled not by electricity, but by this sort of ephemeral kind of.
Actually, glasses up. No, it's fueled by electricity. There are entire shrines that are built around taking an electric like battery and moving it around to power the Sheikah technology.
Sure, that's electricity and not like magic. What's the blue
It
stuff?
might be a magic electricity, but it's definitely electricity.
Video games have taught me that electricity is blue.
That pans out,
They
yeah.
do have
That's
a
what my
light.
degree says.
Yeah, but I don't
That's
know
what
if it's the
master's degree
same.
gets you.
I don't know if it's the same thing, right? Like, would you need copper wiring? Would you need like
You do have to do like some metal conductivity stuff in some.
and
shrines.
is there even
Yes.
like can you even hack something? Like, you certainly can't hack any of his arrows.
Dark
right?
Mephiles in the
No.
members chat says electricity is just invisible magic. So
Basic. I mean,
Also-
that's
it
basically it.
is.
Also, Aloy has the power of severe atheism. In the words of the great Frank Ocean.
your magic.
The words of the great Frank Ocean from the 2011 hit song No Church in the Wild. What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer? There.
That's from Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Actually, I'm just kidding. Yours is probably where they got it from.
Yeah,
That was
the
the
famous
Is it a
Dragon Ball quote.
Bridge?
Yeah, it's in the Broly movie.
Is
That's
it?
interesting
I don't
that-
remember that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Oh wait, no,
Of course
no,
they
I'm
would.
sorry. Oh yeah. Broly says, "What's a king to a god?" And Vegeta goes, "What's a god to a non-believer?" And then Broly owns him immediately. And then says like a response, and then Vegeta mumbles and then falls.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was a great recap of DBZ.
A thing that
approved.
never happened.
Look, I'm struggling with the barfies today. My God.
Struggling with the
That Aloy
Shout
does
out
not
to Team
believe in.
4-Star. They're amazing. Okay.
She
so
also, apart from the spear, she's got her bow and arrow, but she doesn't. People were like, oh, she just has a bow and arrow. She has 3 types of bows. She's got the hunter bow, which is a normal, like, hunting things, warrior bow, which lets her fire more quickly and at shorter range. And then she's got a sharpshooter
bow.
bow? A sharpshooter bow. And on top of that, she has elemental arrows. She's got acid, purge water, which I don't know what it does. I have never asked. ice, fire, electricity, and plasma. Plasma is, I think, only in the new one, but it like lets you build up a big explosion on somebody.
That's a lot of like the same kinds of arrows that Link has. Does she have something like the ancient arrows?
Similar, but more. I'm assuming the
Well,
purge
he has
water
the
is something
ancient arrows,
similar.
but she has acid arrows. He doesn't have acid arrows.
Yeah, but
so
like,
it sounds like she has a greater variety of arrows.
but the ancient arrow, like I think, is better than anything that.
It is true.
I forget
but my question. Sorry, Liam. My question for you is: you got really close to the screen before they cut away.
Yes.
Don't most of his technology, like a lot of his technology, like the Master Sword, only work on evil things?
No.
They're most
evil.
effective
The Master
against...
Sword does not only work on evil things; it just does more damage to evil things.
I mean,
so
it's still a sword.
It's just. I mean, it's a sword.
Otherwise.
But it doesn't do special damage against Aloy because she's a good person.
Yeah, but that would sort of be like if I made like a sword out of kryptonite. It wouldn't do any extra damage to a non-Kryptonian, but it's still a sword, and it would still cut you.
But she's still got a spear.
It makes him fighting Ganon a little tricky to compare to fighting somebody like Aloy. Because Ganon, obviously, he can hurt him with the Master Sword and whatnot, but Ganon is specifically defeated by the holy magic of the light arrows or the sealing power of the Master Sword. So it's questionable how...
He also can defeat Ganon without the Master Sword, too. That's happened in the Oracle games.
Yeah,
you don't need the Master Sword to kill Ganon. He can also take attacks from Ganondorf, so that is the scaling still does work, because he still tanks like magical attacks from Ganondorf.
Yes, there are other games where you can defeat Ganon without the Master Sword. Other games.
Yeah, I mean, no, you can actually.
But that still counts. It's still Ganon.
You don't need the Master Sword to beat Ganon in Breath of the Wild.
You need the light arrows in order to defeat him.
You need the light arrows. At least at the end, but you can still can't you still fight Ganon and the other blights?
Yeah, you technically don't need the Master Sword to defeat Calamity Ganon.
Yeah.
You need the light arrows to defeat
cutscene boss Ganon.
Dark Beast
Big stompy
Ganon.
boy.
Yeah. But like Zelda's just like, hey, here's the light bow.
Pork chops Ganon.
I just had this the whole time. This episode of Death Metal Cast is sponsored by Fume. If you're a smoker or you're close with a smoker, then you probably know that it can be very difficult to quit. That's why you've got to check out Fume. Fume is the natural inhaler designed for a better, safer, and natural way to quit cigarettes. It's a no smoke, no vape, and no nicotine replacement for the hand-to-mouth habit of smoking. Fume is made of 100% Canadian maple and uses cores infused with plant oils that are studied to curb cravings. They've got flavors like peppermint and conker with minty notes to stimulate menthol cigarettes, and other flavors like lemon berry bliss for a sweeter experience. Plus, their flavors are 100% natural. Quitting is tough, but Fume can help. They've got thousands of 5-star reviews from smokers who have tried everything else and this worked. And of course, everybody's going to have a different method of finally being able to quit, right? But one of the cool things about Fume is that because of the different cores, it offers a lot of different versatile options just built into the core of Fume itself to try out. So one of them may work for you. Whether you're a smoker or an ex-smoker struggling with cravings, Fume is the perfect tool. If you head to breathefume.com/cast and use promo code CAST, you'll get 10% off your entire order. You'll save on the cigarettes you aren't buying, plus on your first purchase of Fume. That's 10% off your entire order when you head to breathefum.com/cast and use the code CAST. Go check them out. All right, back to the show. I have no idea where the thing comes from. Like, it's never set up. It's just like surprise. Yeah, she's not even holding it or anything.
Aloy does not have light arrows, so that is...
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really matter in this matchup. I don't think it would... That's to defeat Malice or whatever.
No, but the ancient arrows would disintegrate Aloy and or warp her into a different dimension, because there are like different... There are two different descriptions, I recall, for the ancient arrows. It's an insta-kill if it hits. Like, it's just you're dead.
Well, yes and no. It depends. The ancient arrows... So this... I think a big thing here to kind of look at, because I'm sure a lot of people are thinking like Link has more powerful weapons and a more powerful arsenal in general, and I don't know if that's necessarily the case, because it depends on how tough Aloy is. Because like the stasis, for example, yes, he can freeze someone in time, but depending on how powerful that person is, that freeze could be very quick. Like you can technically freeze pretty much any enemy in Breath of the Wild, but the more powerful ones will almost instantly break out of it. The ancient arrows will insta-kill most things, but the tougher enemies that won't, unless you get a critical hit on their face. And even then, it doesn't insta-kill Ganon, for example. And I don't think it insta-kills the drone guardians, even if you shoot them in the eye.
I don't think we're gonna find something that puts Aloy as powerful as Ganon. I'll say that. I think if we were to
chat, you might know this. I don't think the insta or the ancient arrows will insta kill. What are the Cyclopses called? Hinoxes. I don't think they insta kill the Hinoxes.
Yeah,
the
Hinoxes are probably their durability, but
are probably comparable to like the larger robot monsters that Aloy fights.
Yeah. So actually, I have props.
Props? What?
So
this is a first.
Oh my goodness!
So this is a trimmer tusk, which is a new machine in the in Forbidden West, and this is Aloy. Like this is to scale, and she can get whacked by one of these and get back up. Like she can take a hit, and also. There are things called thunder jaws, which is the thing on the cover that everyone knows. It's like whenever they're like, oh, the game is about fighting robot dinosaurs. It's like they're thinking of a thunder jaw. And a thunder jaw can shoot lasers at you, kind of like
Guardians.
Kind of like the Guardians. Yeah. And like she can dodge them, or if she gets hit, she can, depending, if you're playing on normal difficulty, she can take probably one or two. But yeah, she can dodge those. But she can also, she can get whacked. No, actually, I don't think you can deflect them.
Link, my boy, can deflect them.
Well, Aloy's not going to shoot lasers at him, so it doesn't matter.
Well, but it's a way to determine speed, right?
I think that's
a way to comparatively, assuming that they're the same substance.
That's a good topic to go into, I think, because I've seen a lot of people debating whether or not she is as fast as Link, and I feel like it's closer than the assumption is in terms of what they can dodge.
If you assume that both are lasers, I don't know, because we have a very stringent definition of what constitutes a laser here at Death Battle. But if you assume that both of them are lasers, then they're probably similarly fast, with the exception that Link can deflect them and time can slow down from his perception allows him to kind of slow down time relative to those lasers rather than just hopping out of the way of them. If you don't consider them lasers, Link can dodge lightning strikes in Breath of the Wild. Which would be a feat, which is those are indisputably lightning strikes that come from the sky. So I don't know how fast Aloy is.
So something that could help her with that though is I think it really does come down to like preparation, or like, because if he gets in close and then it's just hand-to-hand combat or sword to spear combat, like he's a trained warrior, I get that, and like she's mostly trained and like she can fight with her spear, but she fires her arrows and stuff. But she's got a lot of traps. She's got vertical traps, tripwires, and then just normal like landmines that she plants in the like. So if she could prep the stage a little bit,
she can also come with prep too, though. Those. So one of the issues I have with Breath of the Wild, not that it really affected how much I liked the game, but kind of in looking back at it and being like, nothing is perfect. The healing system in that game is completely fucking broken. Because as long as
it's very difficult to die if you have food.
A hearty food thing, and you mix it with something else, you get every single piece of health back plus however many extra, depending on what you mix it with.
You don't even need to mix it with anything else. I just played this game a little bit recently. You could just put a hearty radish into a pot, and it comes back as like the most powerful food ever.
That's so fucking funny. Yeah, So you can just stuff your. We were talking about Skyrim a couple weeks ago. You can just stuff your inventory with that, and Link gets
I did.
Full heals constantly.
Aloy has in Forbidden West, like you can get meals from vendors and like keep them with you, and then they can like give you buffs and stuff, and some of them are like health plus twice as much health and stuff like that.
It's a very similar kind of system.
If she dies, Because with Mipha's grace, you can actually lose your health and then be revived.
Well, she just kills him twice.
Well, but then he kills. But I don't even think she's gonna kill him once. But he also has Doric's
Oh.
protection.
She has shield weaver armor.
Real quick, I want to point out something that Matt Tardis is saying in the members chat. So going back to what you mentioned, Liam, about how we have a very stringent sort of definition for what lasers are here at Death Battle.
Lasers.
Matt says
Lasers.
that for what lasers are. Matt says lasers don't explode on contact; they burn. And the lasers in Breath of the Wild definitely explode.
That's true. That's true.
So they might not be light speed.
What do the lasers do in
They set the ground
Horizon
on
Zero Dawn?
fire.
Do they explode? There's no explosion?
I don't think so.
They're lasers.
Just burn it. So one of these is definitely light speed, and the other one's a little questionable.
Well, then you can also just scale to a different Link that has also fought Ganon who can dodge actual lasers.
But we're talking about Breath of the
We're
Wild.
talking about Breath of the Wild.
But guess what? Ganon, same fucking Ganon. Master Sword, same Master Sword. Still scale. There's always a way. There's
Well,
It's a
always
little,
a way.
so Ganon's an interesting thing to talk about, though, because technically you can say that it's the same Ganon.
He's
but
evolved, though.
we don't know.
Or devolved.
We don't actually know if the Calamity Ganon is the same Ganon as the previous one, because there are different Ganons that are reborn.
There's
Demise
like
is
one
Hatred
or
Reborn
two.
or whatever.
There is a main Ganon that is the primary
We've
Ganon.
seen them all die, though. We've seen most of them actually
Ooh.
die.
I always thought that there
Ooh.
was just one Ganon.
No,
There's like at least two.
there
is
are
a time when
couple
he's
that keep
genuinely
appearing.
reincarnated.
Well, there's
So,
Demise.
Yeah.
So the idea with Demise is that his hatred gets reincarnated
Into
as
Ganon.
Ganon.
Yes.
Theoretically, I know there's a theory going around that his hatred is also creates the other villains, Vati and some other ones, but primarily Ganon for sure. But there are different Ganons, like Wind Waker Link kills a Ganon, Twilight Princess Link kills a Ganon. I think Link to the Past Link kills a Ganon.
Here's the thing, though.
Ganons
Twilight
have
Princess,
been killed in the Reborn or Resurrected.
Twilight Princess Ganon and Wind Waker Ganon are the same Ganon. They
Just
just
in a
split off
different
into different
timeline.
timelines. So it's still
Yes.
the same person, right?
Yeah.
And if I were to be I haven't looked at Zelda lore in a while, but if I was to be a betting man, I would bet that Calamity Ganon is Ganon from the Downfall timeline.
But you
The
can't.
one that was
Well, no,
was
actually, he's
reincarnated.
not. It is specifically said that it's all timelines.
Oh,
somehow.
great. Then it's
Rage Bull, I do see
definitely
Rage
the
Bull
same.
in the chat mentioning that like Calamity Ganon has given up on reincarnation. That's actually mistranslation. In the English version of Breath of the Wild, they say that he's given up. It's not true. I can't remember what the actual
he's
line
also
is.
reincarnating in the next game. We've seen him.
Well, or his body was underneath Hyrule Castle the whole time.
Yeah.
And
But
they
the
actually
thing,
didn't
the
kill
thing
him.
about like saying that you can scale, like one Link has fought Ganon and this is the same Ganon. It's really like he has devolved into like a creature that you have not seen before.
It is a very
It's a
different
it's
form.
the same guy,
creation.
but it's not like he is now a mass of like. Apparently, he's all timelines now, so he's all kinds of jacked up.
He's all
Cloud.
timelines. He's not fully formed because Zelda's been preventing him from fully forming himself or reforming himself or whatever the fuck's been going on inside that cocoon. And so he's like this weird mess of malice. And when he finally does become Dark Beast Ganon, Dark Beast Ganon is potentially the most powerful we've ever seen Ganon, but he just sucks at
Does he-
aiming.
Does he still have the Triforce of Power?
I don't think it ever implies that he does.
I honestly don't remember.
Then how
I
is he-
haven't played Breath of the Wild in a long time.
I think he would have to have the Triforce of Power.
I don't believe
otherwise-
he does.
How is
I
he?
don't believe there's any sort of.
Zelda has the
hint that
full
he does.
Triforce, doesn't she, in Breath of the Wild?
I think you're right because the full Triforce appears at the very end.
For her, whenever
I
she's
think
like, "I will stop you." And then
it's kind of vague what's going on with the Triforce in Breath of the Wild, but I guess you could maybe. I don't know. I'm literally just
Also-
thinking about this off the top of my head, but like Zelda
Doesn't
visits
Link
the three
also
different.
have doesn't Link have the
no?
Triforce of Courage?
It's not. It's
Not
never
in
made
Breath, I don't
explicitly clear that he has.
We
the
see it on
Triforce
his
of
hand?
Courage.
No.
No.
And normally, yeah, you would even in like in game. Also,
Yeah.
this Link has died before.
Almost.
Aloy's never died.
Never died. Well,
He
sure,
almost-
but
he
like
pretty close.
you know, Superman
Was
almost
he just
died
like
from
mortally
Doomsday.
wounded? Was that how it,
Superman
how it worked?
versus Aloy?
Yeah.
You know.
That's interesting though,
Versus
'cause, like
Aloy.
now I'm thinking about like in the game, Zelda visits the three springs
Yeah.
that are dedicated to the three goddesses, and I'm wondering if she was actually, unbeknownst to her, gathering the Triforce the whole time.
Today's episode of Death Battle Cast is sponsored by Honey, the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. Imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites. When you check out, the Honey button appears, and all you have to do is boop, click Apply Coupons. If Honey finds a working coupon, hey, you watch the prices drop. I wouldn't recommend something I don't try myself. I use it all the time to purchase electronics, home furnishings, clothing. Anything I buy online is going to go through Honey to make sure I have the best deal. And Honey doesn't just work on desktop, it works on your iPhone too. Just activate it on Safari on your phone and save on the go. If you don't already have Honey, you could straight up be missing out. So, you can get it, do yourself a solid, and hey, support this show right here. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/DBC. That's joinhoney.com/DBC. Hey, thanks.
Because she visits the Triforce of Wisdom, and right after that is when Ganon attacks, and then she's suddenly able to counter him, but is unable to use
The
part of
power
full
of
force.
love.
That might be where it came from. So none of them have the Triforce, or Ganon or Link does not have the Triforce.
Chat seems
so-
to think that Zelda does.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So,
somebody in chat was like, she might have it.
let's talk the
It
elephant
does
in the
appear
room.
at the very end.
The elephant
I-
in the room?
Because I think this is the big, the
robot elephant in the room.
Sorry. Yeah, the robo elephant. We haven't really talked about the Sheikah Slate, and I think that's the major thing that Link's
Yeah,
got
let's
going for
let's
that they
kind of wrap this up with that then. Good point. I do like the idea. I think it makes a lot of sense that Aloy could hack it, and that's really fun.
I think if
Wait,
she
with
if
a
she,
spear?
Well, she's got
That didn't make any
That's
sense.
just stabs.
so in she kind of just like she's got this little giant USB thing on her spear, and
Yeah.
she just like sticks that side. So like there's the
But what-
pointy end of the spear, and
where's
then
the
there's
port?
the USB side. She never really needs one.
Yeah, but the technology that they're working with is clearly like
But she
Earth-based
if she was
ancient
in
technology,
if
not
we were
like,
in the Breath of the Wild world and she like came to a shrine, she could probably like figure it out from there. But also her focus lets you find weaknesses in anything, in any of the machines that she fights.
Yeah,
and
but, like,
humans.
it's like speaking a different language, right? Like I might understand the grammar of a particular language like English, but it's not necessarily going to help me if I'm speaking Mandarin, right? Like the technology in Hyrule is so obviously different, and again based on magic. It's not the same thing. There's no like internet connectivity or USB port or anything kind of comparable. Every interface is a magical one, so I don't think it would work.
I imagine
The
Like,
Sheikah
I don't think
Slate
it's the same
is
thing at all.
Programmable. Like, will you meet
Yes.
the
Yeah.
programmer?
I think
Yeah.
with, like in a death battle, given time, she could probably figure something like out with this stuff.
But
Yeah,
she'd
and-
have
and
to
Link
fight
doesn't- She would
have
Link
to have-
at
she
the
would
same
have to have
time.
time.
The
Yeah,
problem
she would
is
have
that
to
she
have
has to
time.
fight Link at the same time.
Right, yeah,
It would
right
have to-
Maybe.
for it to work, it would have to be something that could immediately work without any problem. Otherwise, Link will
Yeah.
just chop her head off.
Something that she does have. So she's very good at stealth. One, she can hide real good in the grass because
Yeah, and
lots
so can
of-
Link, right?
There's lots of red grass, and she's got red hair, so she hides real good in the grass.
And there's green grass.
Well,
and,
real quick,
and Link
real
could
quick.
get a green.
I'm getting to a point. Sorry, what then?
You got something? Wait, Lena, something?
In Forbidden West, there are things called stalkers, which are basically stripped down machines that don't have armor on them, and they have invisibility. And so she can take something off of a stalker and creates her own invisibility cloak type thing. So she could just sneak up on him.
Link
the thing
doesn't
with the
have
Sheikah
anything that
Slate-
counters invisibility.
The thing about the Sheikah Slate, Stasis is a bitch, but he has to hit her with it.
Yes, you have to specifically aim directly at them. And yeah, okay, if she's invisible, that's a huge advantage in my book. Like Link doesn't have anything that counters invisibility.
At least right off the
Doesn't-
bat, yeah.
I will
I
admit
don't-
it's temporary.
Well,
Don't
even
wear off
temporary,
after
Well,
like
how long?
there's nothing in Breath of the Wild that's invisible, is there? I don't think so.
And it's been years since I played it, but
Chat.
no, I don't think so.
I
But still,
don't
how
believe-
long is it? You said it's temporary.
It depends on how like it's a scale thing.
Like how? Like what's the longest?
30 seconds, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think that's too big of a deal, right?
I mean, I think
I think that's
means
plenty of time.
she gets an early shot in or an easy shot in the middle of something. If
I mean,
she's
even
using
assuming
stealth,
that her
right?
attacks would be powerful enough to like hurt Link, Daruk's protection.
Oh,
would
wow.
protect him from anything. No, but seriously, right? Like look at the enemies that he can fight. Like even just looking at what Dark Beast Ganon or Calamity Ganon can do, create these enormous like city-sized storms around chunks of Hyrule. Like energy-wise, that's like what's the most powerful thing Aloy has tanked? The big monster thing.
Big monster mammoth.
Yeah,
Also-
that's
Monster
like wall
mammoth,
level, right?
there's,
Like it'll like crumple some rocks, right? But it's not
What's the,
it's not the same
what's
as
the-
like causing an eclipse, is it?
What's the dinosaur with the spines on his back?
Stegosaurus?
Stegosaurus.
Yeah, but like a tail whip from a Stegosaurus is enough to like break like a brick wall or something like that. But it's not the same as generating a huge storm, right? That's like kilotons or megatons of energy.
There is
And,
there is actually a
Ganon-
machine that generates storms. It's called a stormbird.
And
I hate them.
can it like attack?
Yes,
Like, how
it
big are the-
can, it can shoot it can shoot lightning at you from its chest, and it can generate storms.
How big are the storms?
Check the trailer. I don't know.
I mean, are they actually like giant thunderstorms, or
Yeah,
are they like creates like a cloud above the head and then? Shoots,
Oh
like,
no,
little
it's
lightning
like
bolts?
thunderstorms. Like there's like a scene in spoiler from Forbidden West. Like there's you're in the desert, and it's like, oh, there's
Yeah.
a desert storm coming. It's like, oh shit, there's a bird.
So it's a big, it's like a natural storm kind of thing. It's not like a localized little storm.
The intent of the machines in Horizon were to actually help humanity and cultivate the world and like bring it back from like all life was
And
destroyed.
then something went wrong.
Right. They're
And then something went
terraforming
wrong.
machines essentially.
So they're terraforming machines, and so
Yeah.
the Stormbirds,
so
whatever they're called,
they create storms. Yeah. So
Hmm.
That's their purpose.
I do think that there's a level of power here. I think it would be remiss to just say that Link is fighting enemies that are vastly more powerful than what Aloy is doing. Like I think it's pretty clear that there is a similarity in these levels of power. It's just different because one is using magic and one is using technology, and finding the way to connect that depends on just how you interpret it. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys in the chats. What do you think? How do you think this all mashes up? Do you think Aloy is going to have the weapons that she needs to take down Link's tech and take him down for good, or is Link just unstoppable in this way? Is the magic?
I will
enough to
also
stop him?
add that Link can turn invisible. There are some potions, and the Lizalfos can cloak themselves too.
I think
That's right, they can.
I did remember
Renek
that.
Oh, the
24.
Lizalfos can cloak themselves. That's
Yep.
right.
I think the Sheikah Slate
When
has a
does
type
Link have
has
a
a type of
potion
like.
that turns invisible?
I've never used that
Um,
in the game.
I'm just looking at the chat.
I don't think that's a thing.
Renek
I know he's got a
24
potion that makes him more stealthy, but I don't know about invisible.
Chat was saying Magnesis can reveal metal even if it's hidden. So in theory, if she's hiding, he can use the Sheikah Slate to find her out, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But he still needs to dick around with the Sheikah Slate while he's doing it. He's not attacking. He's just finding out where she's at.
Mhm.
Beep, beep, beep. All right. Well, we got to move on. This is a really interesting matchup. And I love the idea. Also going into the like prep work and using the traps and stuff. Like thinking of these guys as figures who are used to fighting in a big open space. It's bringing in that open world aspect of the games. I do really like the idea that they could like get away and move away from each other and set something up. Like I feel like that's totally within both their wheelhouses. All right. So go ahead and get your votes in, and there's a poll up in the Rooster Teeth chat right now. If you're watching on mobile, you can type in #1 for Link, #2 for Aloy. We'll get the poll is also up for the members chat on YouTube. Go and vote in there. And let's go ahead and get to what's going on with Harley versus Jinx. We got a sneak peek of the upcoming episode. Let's just go ahead and show it, guys. Let's check this out. Here we go.
exploding stuff. Ha! I like exploding stuff too. Why don't I start with your head? Stay still! I'm trying to shoot you!
Look out! She's right behind you!
Aw, thanks, pal. Ah! Traitor!
Oh my god. I love it. It's so much fun. Billy, what has this been like? Making this episode.
It's interesting. GBX is kind of like more by the seat of your pants, and we've got a lot more planning with Death Battle, but it's all for the best. Like, it helps the process tremendously. And, get to work with voice actors more than DBX allows in terms of, like, timing and budget and all that. We had Felicia Valenti as Harley and Elsie Lovelock as Jinx, both fantastic. Did a wonderful job. It was very interesting to do a substantial voice acting session with two trained actors. So yeah.
What about the animation? Like, this is a very kind of unique sort of battle. I don't know if we've done anything quite like it before.
Yeah, it's actually, I was working with Jen on this one. Jen was the producer, and we did kind of an experiment with the Blender team working with Unreal on the VizPost side to kind of do like a merging of the two to see what we could do to take advantage of both formats. So we got to work with the animation team, which was Daitomo Dachi and Duvad Zander, Final Boss, Plakes Niskin, which is fantastic to say each time I have to. And then the VizPost team was me, Austin Clark, and Josh Ornelas, just trying to take advantage of what Unreal can do with kind of like the quicker custom sets that I was able to make real quick with like lots of foliage and stuff like that everywhere to make the kind of rundown carnival y'all saw, as well as like kind of easier lighting and effects that Unreal allows compared to like Blender, where it's a little bit more like a traditional animation program.
I do want to correct you, Billy. Scott Morgan is the producer of Death Battle.
Sorry, yes, Jen was assisting.
I was assisting.
Yep.
Because we did a lot of technical, like, new stuff that we hadn't done before with getting Blender into Unreal. And so that's the thing that, people do. It's not something that we've done before, especially not on Death Battle. And so I was there to assist with finding out how to make that work, which was a lot of fun, and a lot of me texting Billy, just being like, "I think I got it. Oh no, it's broken again."
Yep. There was a lot of trial and error getting things to communicate between two programs, but it was fun. Yeah, the animators, they had to work in their usual kind of quick pace, but they also had a kinetic, acrobatic, talkative character fight. And Jinx has a lot of hair to take care of, so I really commend those guys because they did a wonderful job in a very short time span. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I know the animators. We've always given the animation team lots of love here because the animators are freaking rock stars. But also don't sleep on like the visual effects guys, post team, tech. Like there's so many people who get their hands on these animations to make it look as good as it does. And man, I'm so proud of the team. It looks so freaking good. You guys did a phenomenal job with this.
I can't wait for everybody to see the rest of it.
It's very cool and very visually, like, I would like take a screenshot of something and I would send it to Billy and be like, "I love these colors. Love them."
I haven't gotten to light a whole set in forever, so this is wonderful to get a chance to do that. So.
Oh yeah, that was another thing. Like, the set was built in Unreal, and then brought over to Blender, and we found out issues with that too, like that we didn't expect.
Yep. And then we brought it back into Unreal. The set kind of stayed where it was, but to work between animation.
For the people watching who aren't super familiar with how this process works, what do you guys mean when you're talking about bringing things from Unreal to Blender and vice versa?
So Blender is for those not aware, Blender is a free 3D animation program. It's not actually strictly 3D. You can do 2D as well, but it's an animation program, open sourced, I believe. And so it's like it got a big community. And Unreal, on the other side, is a video game engine from Epic Games. And it's also been used in a lot of television productions and film productions now, like The Mandalorian being the most famous example. And so we use it we use it on RBB, and we use it on Death Battle a lot for visual effects and post effects. And so we took normally like 3D fights in years past were done in Maya, and they were lit in Unreal. And so basically the same thing where you export something, you export the animation from Blender into Unreal for it to be lit and have effects and all that stuff. Those are things you can do in Blender. Like you can do any like start to finish in Blender if you wanted to, but we wanted to try it on Unreal. So we exported it from Blender to Unreal. And likewise, we exported sets from Unreal into Blender. And they kind of come, the file type is called an FBX file. So you can play around with the FBX files however you want.
All right, quick break for our sponsor, EveryPlate. Sure, we all love the meal kit services for their convenience, but our wallets might have a different feeling. But EveryPlate brings you delicious dinners that won't break the bank. It's America's best value meal kit. Let EveryPlate plan, shop, and deliver everything you need to cook a delicious meal at a consistently low price. You can choose from 17 delicious weekly recipes, and then, well, sit back. They'll deliver pre-portioned ingredients and easy-to-follow recipe cards, like these, right to your front door. Plus, their quality ingredients come carefully packed and pre-portioned, helping you save money and reduce food waste, like that bag of mixed greens you always throw out every week. And come on, are you really going to eat that whole head of lettuce? Think of it this way. An EveryPlate meal costs less than a cup of coffee. That costs less than a cup of coffee. Like, are you serious? This is for real. Try EveryPlate for just $1.79 per meal by going to everyplate.com and entering code CAST179. Get started with EveryPlate for just $1.79 per meal by going to everyplate.com and entering the code CAST179. It's an amazing deal. Go check them out. Thanks, EveryPlate. Let's get back to the Death Metal cast.
Did I get it right, Billy?
Yeah, that's more or less what it was. It's a whole process. They don't always talk one-to-one with each other, so some version you got to do. But it was a very interesting process, and I was happy to have done it.
But each one has its own set of tools, and you blend the tools as much as you can. The tools as much as you can to get
waka.
Something that looks like this.
Yeah. You gotta pay attention to scale. The scale is different by default in both
like
programs.
100% different. Like,
yeah, 100%.
So you bring it over to Blender, and then everything's tiny.
First time I brought a Harley in, she was gigantic into Unreal. It was terrifying.
I love it.
And then occasionally I would bring her in and apply animation to her in Unreal, and I would be like, where? Like she would come in very big, and I'd be like, why is she so big? And then I would apply the animation to her, and it shrink her down, and then she moved her somewhere else. And I was like, where did you go? I don't know what's going on.
There's all sorts of things to think about with these animations, guys. It's crazy. I love it. All right. Really good stuff. Again, Harley Quinn versus Jinx is coming out this Sunday for first members, and then it's dropping on YouTube the following Monday. That's the 28th. We're very excited for you guys to see it. And of course, the next death battle will be announced at the end of it as usual. We'll be releasing episodes every 2 weeks. Even with the new membership program, again, we are still releasing death battles as usual. Everything we've been doing in the past, none of that's changing. You're still getting the same death battle, same death battle channel. We just have a bunch of extra stuff now for members because we know a lot of you guys are really excited to see death battle expand on YouTube as well as on Rooster Teeth. So now we're just on two fronts. I'm literally pointing to two different monitors, one that has the Rooster Teeth chat and one that has the YouTube chat. And I'm like, what? There's so much going on now. But I love that you guys are all here. All right. So the votes are in, or get your votes in. Let's go ahead and get to the deciding moment of the community death battle. All right. So way we're going to start this is, as usual, bringing up some of your answers that you left us before the show. Let's go ahead and bring up the first one. Billy, you want to read these off?
Yeah. Local Maple says, Aloy does have more fighting experience, but she is optimized to fight robots, and her strength is still par for a human hunter. Link doesn't have schematics for weak points, has equal or slightly better reflexes, literal magic, and a more varied arsenal to take on any enemy. Link wins.
Okay.
Good point.
I
Good
agree.
argument, but it's also, I don't know, it still seems like it's open for an Aloy victory there. All right, let's go ahead and bring up the answer for Aloy, though.
Brando says, future technology trumps techno magic any day of the week. Aloy takes down giant robot beasts, but Link's enemies can be taken down with wooden swords. Paints a very clear picture, but more irrefutably, Link's sequel is never coming out. Aloy has 2 games and Genshin Impact.
I've never played Genshin Impact, so
we really don't want to bring up games coming out in relation to Breath of the Wild and Horizon, because that Horizon has an unfortunate history in respect to
so
Breath of the
Forbidden
Wild.
West was originally going to come out after Elden Ring. Elden Ring moved its date.
That's rough. That's rough.
Elden Ring decided to sabotage Horizon. That kind of sucks.
They thought they knew what the battle was, and all of a sudden a new ad jumped in from behind and stabbed them. It's very FromSoft.
I was kind of curious why Elden Ring didn't release like closer to a holiday season.
Well, they were going to, but then they needed like an
Yeah.
extra month for
It got moved.
Okay,
cleaning.
that
some
makes
stuff
sense.
up.
That makes
And then
sense.
they released like an update a week ago or so that really cleaned a lot of stuff up, and it was like, yeah.
Okay, so some really good points made for both characters. Billy,
I agree with the first person's arguments more than the second. I think the first person's arguments were fucking sick as fire, and the second ones were,
all right. So before we get to our votes, Billy, I do want to go check out. What's up, Jen?
I just wanted to, I've never done this before, and I wanted to commend Liam, you really know your shit, and, somebody was like, oh, you're actually listing off stats, and I'm kind of just being anecdotal over here. It's like, I don't know.
At the end of the day, this is just us talking, and that's all it is.
I was quoting lyrics to a song earlier. I'm just pulling shit.
You brought in I keep forgetting what it's called, the robot
Tremor
mastodon
Tusk.
thing, the tremor tusk and everything. You had props.
You got,
I don't know if we've ever had
the
props
Horizon
before.
stuff.
I love
Zelda. I wish I didn't know most of this shit.
I
It's
love
like
Zelda.
it's like fucking taking up
permanently
way
in
too much
there.
of my brain space. I could know the works of Marcel Proust by now, but fuck no, I gotta know about Lizalfos.
I mean, are they any
Jesus
different?
Christ.
Is that any different on a scale of art, Liam?
Yes.
That's the next step.
Yes,
Adam.
some art is objectively better than
Oh my god. All right. So let's go ahead and get to the votes. So we're going to start with the members poll. And I'm looking at that right now. A lot of votes in for the members. Awesome to see you guys voting. Unfortunately, it is a pretty one-sided poll. So we got it up. Thanks, Brian. Awesome. So at the moment, Link is winning pretty handedly from the members poll.
we should have added that this is a golf poll. This is scored like you score golf. So really,
Lower number
Aloy
wins.
is just demolishing.
Oh,
right
okay. I guess. Okay, so we're just changing the rules halfway through. So Aloy wins the members poll. Sorry, guys. No. All right. So we got one vote for Link. Billy,
Lunk.
who are you leaning towards? Who are you going to vote for?
Who are you leaning?
I feel like if it was just this conversation, I would be leaning heavily toward what Jen is saying. I just know so much about Link. I have a feeling he would pull this off in the end. Jen's points are pretty solid, though. But I think I'm going Link.
Okay, that's two votes for Link.
Benjamin.
I'm torn. I'm kind of torn because I really like the idea that Aloy has a way to not only counter the Sheikah Slate, but turn it against Link. That's interesting. And the fact that she has a technology that may be similar to what Link has, but is not something he's ever experienced.
Mm-hmm.
What if
I
she
think
caused the
he's-
Sheikah Slate to drift, to have Joy-Con drift? like a
Oh,
real
Joy-Con
Switch?
drift.
I mean,
And
we
Link just
haven't brought that up yet,
shatters
but
it
that's
against
a
the
serious
fucking
problem.
ground.
I mean,
Yeah.
how do you explain drift in canon? Link sometimes just starts moving off to one side for no reason. And for that reason, I'm gonna have to vote for
I'm gonna have to move to my
Aloy.
fourth. I'm gonna have to move my fourth pair of
You-
Joy-Cons at some
yeah,
point.
you
I've just
ruined
stopped
it,
playing
Liam.
it because it's just
You were
busted.
gonna have a shutout, and then you brought up Joy-Con drift.
yeah.
I had
I
my
do feel like
shot
this is a
last.
closer. This is a closer fight than people assumed right off the bat, in my opinion. So
I believe
The laser
so. I
stuff
believe
is legit,
it's-
and
it's-
that automatically makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's another thing. I meant to bring
I've
that up,
never
and then you brought up
seen
Joy-Con
Speed.
drift. I legitimately think I question whether or not the lasers and the speed in Breath of the Wild is really as fast as we might be thinking it is, but
I was looking. Well, whatever.
I don't know.
Looking it
Either
up,
way,
some more
either way,
answers.
I'm giving my vote to Aloy. So we got 1-2. That leaves us with the last vote
Fine then.
from the Rooster
Fine.
Teeth chat.
Break my heart. Leave
Go
me
ahead,
to
bring that
die.
up.
Emotionally,
You know I'm always here
in
to
the
vote
desert
against
of
you, Liam.
sadness.
That's how
I
I roll.
know.
in
I mean, you were
I
debating
know.
against him.
I think Chad
Which
votes
I
for me
appreciate.
more than Ben does.
Let's go. Let's check out what the Rooster Teeth poll says.
Let's
And that'll
see
decide
it.
our winner.
Today
One
on Death
of these
Battle Cast.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
so
Better.
Hey, you made some
Link wins.
Nice.
However, it is a much
Nice.
tighter vote. 69% to 31%.
Wait, why is it nice?
I don't know. It's just a nice number. I
Yeah,
think
it's just a
number.
nice number.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no other. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a really
It's
nice number.
asymmetrical. Looks like yin yang.
I want
yeah.
to win by 420%.
You could flip it upside down. It's the same number. That's really neat. All right. So Link does win 3-1. But that last vote was a lot closer than I thought
It was
was
close.
gonna be.
It was- it
closer
moved
than I expected
closer.
it to be.
It's interesting. That's
It was-
interesting.
I'm
it's
sure
a
the
move.
props helped.
Yeah, there
I
you
really
go.
like that giant elephant
Thunder
mammoth
tusk.
thing.
Tusk
the
thunder.
Tremor,
tusk-
the
You know,
tusk
the
of
tremor
tremors.
The Discord brings
The
up
bib-
that with golf
bub-
rules,
I don't know.
Aloy wins.
Babar.
So
the
As some-
robot.
Somebody, I think it was Erin, pointed out to me last week. She's like, "Let's be real. The two of them would just be friends. They
Probably,
would just
yeah.
get along.
Yeah,
You know
they'd be
why?
pals.
Why are we fighting?
A lot of death battles end with they would just be pals.
Yeah.
But there are always some that are like, no, they fucking hate each other. Dio Alucard was one where it was like, no,
Yeah.
they would just
I don't know.
hate each other.
Dio
Having
doesn't like
just played-
anybody.
Having
Yeah,
just
I mean,
played
he would
Breath of the
hate
Wild
him.
recently, I kind of get the sense that not a lot of people like Link.
I kind of think
Mifa likes Link, and she's a fish.
Not in Breath of the Wild. Like
I
a lot
think-
of people, only Mifa seems to be like friendly with him, and like what
Doesn't
is the
Zelda
Goron's
like
name? I
Link?
can't remember.
Or
his
Zelda
name.
just Darude?
Zelda hates him at first.
What?
yeah,
Zelda
Zelda hates him at
Link?
first.
Zelda,
No,
the
she's like
plot is
Link.
like Zelda hates him, but it's because she's got her own like her
She's-
own issues that she's dealing with.
Yeah.
And she's kind of putting them on Link. But
I think Zelda's personality in Breath of the Wild and Aloy's are pretty similar in that they've got like this weight of the world, nobody else
yeah.
can help me type situation.
then
So,
Aloy
like,
would hate him.
doesn't
Hate him.
come to love him. Like Zelda comes around.
Yeah, it takes a while though.
Maybe she's just being nice to Link so that she has like a bodyguard. She's
And
just being
also-
like she's just being a politician about it.
She
just knows.
does actually like she saves her life and then she's like, "Oh, you're actually not useless."
Damn.
And
Yeah.
Fuck.
She only starts liking him after he saves her life, and she's like, "Oh,
She doesn't like him for him. She likes him for his ability to kill.
yeah,
like, just
basically."
for being a murderer,
Hordes of
man.
as
enemies.
Liam said at the beginning, lots of murder.
Yeah, lots of murder.
I mean, I believe there's a journal entry from Zelda that literally says like he just never talks. Like he never talks to me and
Aloy
never
would
speaks
love
what's on his
that.
mind.
She hates when other people talk to her. She's a lot just
so
like
Zelda, Zelda doesn't like him. Like anyway,
He comes around.
yeah, eventually, but people hate Link. Everybody hates Link. That's the point.
I hate Link. Just kidding. Link.
No, all right,
love
that
him.
was amazing, Jen. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yes.
That was so
I was
much
come on
gonna,
the
I
fun.
was
show
gonna show
more.
off my Link stuff because I love
Oh.
Zelda.
Whoa.
I got my Link
Oh my
poster.
gosh.
I have my giant life-sized Link statue. It
My
comes alive at
giant
night. and-
sword.
Okay, can you actually?
She does have the
the sword.
sword.
Can you grab that real quick and show
that
how
in
big
here.
it is?
That's a Hyrule War. The Master Sword. Holy
Because
shit.
that's the Master Sword, but it's not just a Master Sword. It's like a Claymore Master
Wait,
Sword.
and is that a cat in the background?
Yeah, I have a cat.
Oh my
I'm changing my vote to Jen.
Look
Jen
how
would
big
win.
this thing is.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Look at
Holy
this. It's
crap.
amazing.
I guess the Master Sword is more of like a. Is it more of like a great sword, or is it just a broadsword? I don't know. Is it-
It's a broad,
Is it a-
this is a broadsword.
That's a broadsword. Okay. Yeah, claymores are.
I can't believe you
Claymores
didn't
are
bring up
much
that the
bigger.
Master Sword would have broke mid-fight.
I've been rereading not Bleach. I would never do that.
Claymore?
I've been rereading Berserk. lately.
Wow, don't say that. I would never reread. All right. We got to wrap this up because we do
Berserk.
want to show the sneak
Talk about
peek
big swords.
one more time. All right. That was really fun. Thanks to everybody who tuned in and voted. Hope to see you here next week. Oh my gosh. Let us know what kind of death battle you think Aloy should be in. Should she fight against Link?
I
Should
said
she fight
Tiny
against somebody
Tina,
else?
and y'all shut me down.
Maybe we should do Aloy versus Tiny Tina. Let us
We should
know.
do Tiny Tina versus. I have nothing. Sorry. Just keep
Aloy.
it
That was
going.
an end
keep
of
it
a
going.
All right. That'll do it for us
Versus
this
Liam.
week. Just
Matthew
stay tuned.
Mercer. Tiny Tina versus Matthew Mercer. Who's the better
Just Matthew
DM?
Mercer.
Tiny Tina versus Liam.
So, God, you guys are throwing me off. We're wrapping up the show. All right. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. Be awesome. We'll see you next week. The sneak peek is going to be shown again. Stick around.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
And they say these games are rigged. What? Screw you, you emo pigeons! I'll show you a murder! Oh, I just love exploding stuff. Ha! I like exploding stuff too. Why don't I start with your head? Stay still! I'm trying to shoot you!
Look out! She's right behind you!
Aw, thanks, pal. Ah, traitor!